Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jade and this is a series that I started because I was sad and lonely and had no one to talk to. And now I'm in a better place where I do feel like I have like plenty of people to talk to. But I think I'm just like got the ick. Not the ick, the opposite of the ick. Like the jick. Like I've got this like, I don't know, this is like, I just like doing these videos now. This fringe is really annoying me. If I keep playing with it, I'm sorry. It's just because I'm trying to get used to it, and I like it like being like this, but then it like scratches me in the eyes. It's been a significant amount of time since I last filmed one of these videos, and I've just been like trying to think of topics and things to like speak about. Because I think my last one I literally just sat down and like ranted for like an hour. But I kind of wanted it to be like more structured. So I've got some prompts. I've written down a list of things to chat about. So if I'm looking at my iPad during this episode, that's why. Also completely off topic, but I'm currently sat in the car, which is very messy. I was gonna clean it yesterday, and then everything just kind of went wrong. It was one of those days where like it was like thing after thing after thing, like domino effect of like everything going wrong. I ended up getting a blood test done, and I still like can't entirely straighten my arm out properly. Like it is really painful. But as soon as I got out of there, I had the worst pain in my whole entire arm. Like genuinely my whole arm was like in severe pain, which is so weird because I've never had that after a blood test. And I was like, this isn't right, but then I was too scared to go back in there, so I decided to just go home. And then when I got home I was like, maybe I should actually ring the doctor. So I rang the doctors back and then had to end up going for an appointment, and they just basically said your blood vessels are really inflamed, but you're not gonna die, so you'll be right. So that's that. So I didn't end up cleaning my car because I ended up being like a one-armed bandit for the entire day. But it's fine, because we're here now and I will do it at some point. Just not today, unfortunately. Another thing before I get onto the topics. It's such a beautiful day today. Like it's genuinely like starting to feel like summer, which excites me so much. I feel like I keep seeing like things where it's like, oh, there's people on the bus. I keep seeing things where I keep encountering things and like people of like saying that it's summer. Like the other day I was in an appointment and the woman was like, oh, I'm so excited for summer, I can't wait, it's nearly summer. And I was like, literally, this is like the 5th time I've heard this today, and I was like, this is the best thing ever because I love summer. Like it's my favourite period of time ever. I love summer so much, like I feel so alive. So like everyone just keeps hyping me up for summer. It's like the universe's way of saying everything's going to be okay, just wait for summer, like everything's going to work out. So that gives me a sense of hope. Right, I'm going to get my list of things up. One last side note before I do start. If you have seen my hands, I have this weird type of eczema, which like comes up in little like blister type things, like the little like cysts on my skin. I don't know if cysts is the right word. They're more like little blister dots, and then they burst and make these dry patches. So if you see my hands and they're gross, I'm sorry. I literally just have to wait for it to go away, which will take like 4 weeks. And I might periodically keep moisturising my hands as well if they start bothering me. I feel like I could have literally just sat down and chatted because I can think of so many things to talk about. Like my car. I never finished like decorating my car. Like obviously I've got this up here and I've got loads of like little cute little decorations. I need to do like a proper car tour when I've like fully finished decorating my car. But I still never like made seat covers for the back. Like I bought the fabric. It's like a colourful version of this, so then it kind of like coordinates. And then I was just going to do it without the black like border and like just do it with the whole fabric just on the back seats. And I just never got around to it. Like it was, again, like my life has literally just been a series of one illness after another, and I've been going through it. So, I did put in to like do like a little bit of an icebreaker for like anybody that is new and has never like watched my channel before or like seen these videos specifically before. Because I don't know if people do like these videos. Like I'm still unsure whether people like watching these videos or not. So please let me know in the comments if you do enjoy these types of videos. I love filming them personally, and then they're also like so easy to edit because I can literally just watch it through and I don't have to like cut loads of bits out. Well, it's me, so yes, I do have to cut loads of bits out, but it's like, it's so much quicker to edit, and I do feel like I could probably do one of these like at least once a week to every 2 weeks maybe. Like I did write that down the other day and I was like, nobody's going to want to see these like every week, surely. So, I don't know, I've got some ideas for some series as well that I want to do, but I'm questioning whether I even do series, because I always say I want to do series and then kind of like just get completely overloaded and lost like 2 seconds into it. So I don't know if I'm gonna do a series. I'm still figuring out my content. We're like nearly 2 years in and we still don't know what we're doing, but this is a continuous series that I have at least managed to continuously do since I started it, so that's a good thing. So I put, what is something interesting about you that most people don't know? And I literally can't think of anything at the minute, but like, I feel like this will be a good thing to put in the comments. Like, because I would love to like know if like you do like watching these videos, like what is something about you that would be like cool for me to know you by. Like if you had to like tell me one thing so that I could remember you by, because I feel like I don't remember like people's names and faces, but I can remember like one weird fact about them. Yeah, like if there's like some sort of like thing you want me to remember you by, then like comment it below please, that would be really, really cool, and I'll see how many I can remember. But I actually can't think of any for myself. Like it's one of those things that I feel like I actually don't share that much of my life online. But then I also kind of just, I don't know if I can shorten it to one thing, and then I also just can't think of anything, like my brain's completely blank. If I do remember, like if I can think of one thing, then I'm gonna write it in the comments, like as an introduction of myself. So then if people like don't know how to like write the comments and like, because I'm like really an anxious texter and I don't really know how to like word things, so I normally just ask ChatGPT to do it for me. So if I ask ChatGPT to do it for me and then put it in the comments, and then other people can just copy it if they don't really know what to do and they're weird like me. I'm not calling you weird, I'm weird, I will openly admit that. Describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be? The first thing that comes to mind is always creative, and I always like have this weird thing in my brain where I'm like, I can't put myself under that bracket because there's people that are more creative than me, but that's like so dumb. Because like, I do feel like I am creative, and I feel like I have a creative approach to like literally everything, so why would I not call myself creative? I'm creative, number 1. Oh my god, I can't think of words. What's the introvert? I'm an introvert. I'm a hella an introvert, and I probably don't come across it in videos sometimes until you see me in public, but I am the biggest introvert and I don't like being around people, and I find it so exhausting, and I'm like a little solo worm. So yeah, I'm hella introverted. The only thing is, like, if I have people who I feel entirely comfortable around, that I can like fully be myself around, then it's like a whole different thing. And then I'm like so happy being around people, but then I can also only take so much of being around people. So introvert. I'm trying to like think of a word for like, not kind of following the norms. Like I feel like everything that I do is very much not the norm. Like I didn't go to university, which is always like the first thing I think of when I say like I didn't go to the norm, but like there was so much pressure on me to actually go to uni, and like I knew in my heart that that like was not what I wanted to do. And like I did have like some people being like, why would you want to go to uni if you like money and everything, and then that did stress me out and kind of put me off. I always like have these existential crises where I'm constantly like, what if I did go to uni, and like part of me still feels like I've like missed out on that chapter of my life and like kind of wishes that I did, but then I also know that I was not in a good space when it came to like the point of like where I would have been in uni, so it would have not been healthy for me to be there. So I'm like trusting that process, and I do feel like I am, what's the word? I feel like I always take the road less travelled by. I don't know the word for that, but yeah. What's the weirdest or most unexpected thing that has happened to you recently? I mean, honestly, probably the blood test thing, because, like, why did my arm, like, swell up like a lead balloon and then, like, it was so painful. That was just, like, a weird thing that happened. Like, I'm gonna say that. Personal stories and life experiences. So I've kind of separated this into 6 different sections. That was the first section. This one is personal stories and life experience. So what's a life-changing experience you've had? I'm trying to think of something that, like, nothing's coming to mind. Do you know what? I'm gonna be cringy and say this YouTube channel because genuinely, like, I feel like I just learned to love making videos again. Like, this is something I used to do as a kid and they were not good at all. Not saying that they are now, but they were not good as a kid, like, at all. But, like, I used to love making YouTube videos. Like, I flipping loved it so much. So that's probably, like, a life-changing experience of starting this channel again. Like, genuinely, because I feel like I'm so passionate about this channel and, like, genuinely just want everything for this channel. I'm going to tell you the story behind how this channel started, actually, which I know some of you will know because some of you did come from Eden's channel, so you will have seen the video and, like, that's how you came here. But there has been quite a few people that have joined since. So let's just have a little bit of a backstory. So I'd been thinking about starting a channel for a while, but then I was just, I don't know, because I was like, I could actually, like, do it and, like, make, like, short films in, like, do you know Natalie Lynn? Like, she very much inspired me to, like, I would love to make videos like that. Obviously, my videos aren't know any of that. She literally makes, like, cinema quality videos. Like, they're quite literally movies. Like, to even call them YouTube videos is an insult because they are literally movies. That kind of inspired me after watching her videos, and I was like, I would love to do this. And then I was like, I just kind of don't feel like I had the confidence to do it. Or, like, just the will to do it, to be honest. And then there was just, like, one random day in summer, I think it was, like, May time, 2022. Was it 22? Where me and Eden were sat in this random ass field, which I think it was, like, a farmer's field. Like, it had, like, an abandoned, like, farm area. I'm not entirely sure where it was. It was, like, around a reservoir. And we were just, like, having a nice crafty picnic with lots of what? Fuck off! I actually hate, like, terror and spiders, may I add. And then we'd sat down to, like, film a segment for Eden's video, and I had said, like, I've been thinking about starting a channel.
I've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel, but, like, actually doing it this time.
Like, and actually, like, doing it. And then Eden was like, do it!
I'm gonna do it.
And I was like, And then there were so many lovely comments of people being like, start a channel. And I was like, at first I was feeling a little discouraged, and then I was like, what if? And then I started, like, writing in, like, journals and notebooks and things and being like I could film this and this and this, and, like, I think it's been, like, a massive life-changing experience because it gives me the motivation to do things. Like the room cleaning videos, the only reason that I did those things is because I was filming it and, like, because I knew there was a video at the end of it, and, like, it all kind of just makes things worth it. So I feel like it gives me this, like, sense of motivation that I otherwise wouldn't have. So I feel like that is, like, a massive life-changing thing from this channel. So yeah, I would say that this channel is probably the most life-changing experience I've had. Have you ever had a moment where everything in your life shifted? I can't think of one, but I don't know if I don't know how to word it without it sounding... Do you know what? I'm just gonna say it. So, this is hella cringe, sorry, emotions, and also, hi Nick if you're watching this, because I know you will be. But, like, genuinely, like, so I have a boyfriend. Surprised you probably already knew that because I literally post about him all the time. But I genuinely never thought that I would be, like, in a relationship. I always thought that I was gonna just live in a field on my own with like science babies, and I've been saying that for ages, like I want science babies and I just want to live on my own. When I first met Nick, we were like genuinely just friends, and like that was how I just saw it, being like friends. And then I don't know what happened, but something just shifted, and then we were like, do you know, like, this is my person. Like, we are literally meant to be together. There were so many like invisible strings and like signs from the universe that we were meant to be together. Like, the first time we actually met in person was like a summer's evening. There was this bee that landed like right near us, and it was dying. So I decided to nurse this bee back to life, and it was like this like weird thing from the universe of like, here is this little bee to like nurse back to life, and like it was such a memorable experience. And then there's so many like weird, I can't think of any that are coming to mind right now, but there's so many like weird things that have just like kind of made sense. And like I feel like my life shifted in that moment. Like I generally always thought that I would literally, I always kind of saw myself like dating women and like being with a woman like in a long term, and I never saw it being a man. But somehow here I am, and I don't even know, like life just shifted, and like life feels so much different now. I don't even know, like things are just so different now. Like if I look back like 6 months ago even, like I feel like I don't even recognise myself anymore. Like I feel like I'm more me. Yeah. Feels like the answer makes more sense. What's the biggest challenge you've faced, and how did you overcome it? I feel like I might have put too many questions in each of these segments because I've already taken so long to answer these things. I can't think of anything of... I'm going to say this to every single one because my brain kind of just works in a way of I literally can't think of anything, and then something will just go... Poof. Oh, I know what I'm going to say for this one now. I have spoke about this in a previous episode, but I am a type 1 diabetic, as you probably know from my channel. If you're new here, you might have not seen the videos before, but I have type 1 diabetes. And when I was first diagnosed, it was like, cool, whatever, and I didn't understand it at all. I basically had like no medical intervention with it, and I was kind of just left to kind of figure it out on my own. And I like didn't understand how serious it was, and like how I just couldn't abandon it. So I did. I feel like I got very burnt out and just decided to like stop taking insulin, and like I just was like genuinely just struggling a lot with my mental health. And now, like I don't know what my HbA1c is now, but like my time in range is like most days over 80%. I do have Omnipod now. I don't know if you can see him, and that has like significantly like helped me, but I did have to fight for that, and I did have to change hospitals just to get an insulin pump because my old hospital were pains in the butt. But yeah, I definitely feel like getting a grip on like diabetes has been a massive like challenge that I've overcome. If you could go back 5 years and give yourself advice, what would it be? Queen, don't invest in that fucking Dogecoin. Oh my lord. Like 5 years ago, I think that was when I was like big into crypto. And although it's kind of paid off now because most of my crypto is up, but like why did I ever invest in Dogecoin of all things? Also, it's when the market crashed. Oh my god, I literally have no sense of time. 5 years ago. Do you know what? I would just tell myself to just stick it out, and I don't know if there's any advice that I could give that like... I feel like nothing has changed in 5 years. Like genuinely, I don't feel like much has changed. Like my life still feels very samey. But then there's also like the whole big like health events that's happened in that time, like my diabetes diagnosis and my legs and not being able to walk for a significant period of time. There's been like a lot of health things that have happened in that time, so I probably would just be like, bitch, eat loads of crap because life's about to get shit. I don't know, like I feel like you've just got to go through things and experience things, and that's kind of just it. Like I don't know if I had like the pre-warning of those things happening. I feel like everything just kind of plays out as it does. I feel like the universe is going to bite me in the bum for that one, and something's going to happen and to teach me a lesson. But oh. Right, chapter 3, current events and trending topics. AI and the future. There's just been that new like chip thing. Not a chip, it's like a new, what the hell do you call it? It's that thing that Microsoft have announced that's like really cool and it's like gonna change like science and shit. That hella interests me so flipping much. And also AI. I love AI. I know there's a lot of haters of AI. It's been like, they're stealing our jobs, they're ruining our lives. But genuinely, AI is my favourite thing ever. I love it so much. I genuinely think it's so physically helpful to humans. And there is this risk that AI like could get knowledgeable and powerful enough to like take over the world. Although I think it's very unlikely that's going to happen within our lifetimes. Like, yeah, it's very unlikely of happening. And there is a lot of conspiracy theorists out there who do like to mangle in that one and cause fear. They like to fearmonger. But just know, it's very unlikely it's going to happen in our lifetime, so do not fear. Do not fear. I love AI. I feel like it's genuinely so helpful. Like if I'm feeling stuck or lost with something, like especially like videos and like just projects that I'm working on in my life, I can just be like, chat, don't know what I'm doing. And it doesn't matter how I word or phrase it because chat will get out exactly what I'm trying to speak about. Like chat is so helpful about literally everything. And I know there's like a lot of other AI systems out there, there's more than chat, but chat is my favourite. Literally use chat every single day of my life for like pretty much everything. And also I feel like I know there's a lot about people like the writing ones, but then the ones where they're like creating art, not so much. I have mixed feelings on this. Because I do feel like it's helpful to envision ideas. Like you can type into a thing and be like, this is what I'm picturing, make it for me. And then you can like create it as yourself as a human, because human emotions are not replaceable. Like I feel like that is one thing, is like, these AI things don't have feelings as far as we're aware. They do pretend to have feelings, but like the human emotions is something that's like not replaceable, and I feel like that's something in art, like especially with music specifically. Like if you ask ChatGPT to write you a song, it's not good. Like it lacks that like human emotion and like it just lacks the human. So I feel like we don't have to worry about AI, and I just think it's brilliant. There is some scary situations that have happened with like terrorism and things, and that does scare the living bejesus out of me, the fact that we can just ask, like you can manoeuvre around it, and I'm not going to go into that because it generally does give me a lot of anxiety. But I don't feel like it can replace some jobs. There is obviously some jobs where it would be useful. I don't want to say specifically because I don't want people to be... Like, obviously, I personally would not enjoy some specific jobs, and there's jobs that I've had in the past that I would like AI to have taken over. But then it kind of lacks that human emotion of it. I generally don't think that most companies will ever be, like, fully run by AI. Like, I think there is still going to be that human interaction of it. But for us to be able to use AI, is incredible. Like, to be able to use it to benefit us and like to help humans, like to potentially like cure diseases and things, and just to help us. I love it. I love it. I'm sorry, this is like literally the first one and I've rambled on for ages. Social media and mental health. This is something that I have spoke about previously, because I don't like social media when it comes to like things like comparing ourselves to others and like showing these glorified versions of life. And there's so many elements of social media that I hate, but then I also, there's a side of it of like, when you're like in a crisis, and social media has this like other side to it that's not just like the it's really bad for you, over glorified sadness. There's this other side to it where it's like a community of like people who you can just like on demand connect with if you're struggling, and like that's irreplaceable. Like if you have nobody else to speak to, like to have social media there, like obviously there is some horrible people out there, there's horrible people everywhere, you could easily encounter one of those in daily life. But like, so there's such a good side to social media. I saw a post weeks ago from someone who was saying about how they hate TikTok, and they were showing their feed and how they get these horrible, horrific posts and how that's like horrible for mental health. And like all the comments were just like, this is like literally just your perspective of social media. And like, as mean as that sounds, like it is true, because obviously TikTok's algorithm is like based on like AI, like learning software. So if you're like constantly interacting with these horrible posts, it's going to think that you want more of that. But then if you like hold it and press not interested, or you don't pay attention to those posts, it's not going to show you more of those. So I feel like it's very like perspective based, and there is like different perspectives of social media that like vary. So I don't feel like it's all bad. Like would be wrong to say that social media is all bad, because I don't feel that way. Which is definitely a shift from the perspective I had before, because I have had many rants where I'm like, I hate TikTok, and I just hate like the endless scrolling, and like when it's mind numbing, like the procrastination of like just scrolling TikTok, I hate that, but I feel like I can easily find ways to get around that, aka just go on Pinterest instead. I'm just gonna pick one more thing out of this, because I've got 3 more topics on there. I have the hustle culture debate, which is like, is working hard the key to success or just burnout? Relationships in 2025, like dating and how things have changed like this year compared to like 10 years ago, and also like conspiracy theories on like which ones I think will be true. I think I'm gonna talk about the hustle culture just because it kind of relates a lot to me. I don't know, I always kind of never, I don't even know how to word it, because I never kind of agree with the hustle culture. I feel like burning yourself out is not the way to go around life. I'm very much like a live free-spirited, just run through a field kind of person and like deal with everything later. But then I'm also broke and unemployed, so maybe don't take advice from me. I don't know, it kind of, I think if it's something that you like really enjoy doing, like do it, but do it regular and often, but not to the point where you're like burning yourself out. Because if you do something too often, no matter what it is, no matter if you love it, hate it, whatever, if you do it like so much, you're gonna end up hating it at some point. It might take years. Depends how often you're doing it. Like I feel like everything has this like cycle. I feel like life is just one big cycle, and like you have to go through the cycles of life. And does that even make any sense? Am I just rambling? Probably. 4. Deep thoughts and provoking questions. If money didn't exist, what would you do with your life? I'm gonna have to have a drink because my throat. Has anybody else had that horrific illness that's going around where you literally feel like Voldemort? Like I genuinely feel like I don't even know. Every time I lay down, I'm like choking. It feels like having COVID again, but like also not COVID at all. Oh, I can't even remember the question now. If money didn't exist, what would you do with your life? Well, funnily enough, as I just said, I am unemployed and broke, so my money is very limited anyway. But if money didn't, like, wasn't a thing and you just had like unlimited free roam of the world, my thing at the moment is I want a van and I want to save for a van. I kind of feel like the best way to probably do this is like through some sort of sponsorship, and then I also like have to do something in return for like this sponsorship, but then I don't really know the ins and outs of it yet. I'm trying to figure something out so that I can get a van, so that I can travel around the whole country, because I've always been like so passionate about traveling, but like it doesn't make sense to me to like just jump on a plane and start like traveling the world when I don't feel like I have experienced my own country yet. Like I kind of just want to see everywhere in this country. Like there is so many like beautiful hidden gems. So like when I do go traveling abroad and things, then I can be like, oh my god, you need to visit this place or like this hidden gem. And like I feel like I just want to like vlog van life and like just the freedom and the exploration of van life. Obviously it's gonna have like low lows and high highs, but I kind of just want to all of it. Like I'm so excited for that chapter of my life, and I feel like I want that to be the next chapter of my life. Before I met Nick and before like we got together, I like way in the past like I wanted to do van life, and then I had this period of van life's not for me, like the anxiety of like being a lone woman in a van, even when I'm like driving places on my own, like I get filled with anxiety, like going through certain areas and things. So like to be sleeping in a van on my own and like have to deal with all like the security issues and things, like I was like, maybe van life is not for me. And also like having to move the van around every day, and just there's so many elements to it that I thought like that ultimately just is probably not for me at all. But then after I kind of met Nick, I went back into this cycle of it feels possible again, and I feel like I've reignited like my dream of van life, and it just feels like a achievable way of like living, not like on my own, because Nick would probably be there 90% of the time, but like to get to like live freely, like it feels like freedom. Like I feel like the Bolter from Taylor Swift. So that's definitely kind of like what I want to do, and I feel like that's what I would do if I like money didn't matter. I would get a van and just adventure so much, and then get on a plane and start adventuring the world. My ultimate goal is to have a, what's it called, like a eco cabin in the middle of like a massive field, and then have like loads of outhouse buildings with like a craft shed, like a music studio, and like just literally like live to like my full dreams. Like that is like genuinely my dream. I mean, that's how I'd know like Nick is like my person, because he literally is like, he loves those things as well, and we're literally like share so many interests. And like when I told him about my idea to live in a field with like outhouse buildings, he's like gets so excited about that, and also like to live on a farm and things like that. We were literally meant for each other. Like what? Do you believe in fate, or do we create our own destiny? I genuinely do believe so strongly that the universe has a plan for us, but I feel like we get to decide. Like I feel like the ultimate goal of life, like why you were put on this earth, I feel like that is just destiny. And I feel like the fate like is the ultimate decider of your overall thing. But then I feel like the path to how you get there is like fully decided by you, and like if you set intentions, the universe will get you there. Like you kind of get to decide the bits in between, and then the universe kind of just puts you in them situations and like guides you to each thing. Does that make sense? It makes sense in my brain, but I feel like now I've said it out loud, it doesn't make sense. I don't know, it makes sense to me. But yes, I do believe in both, kind of. Like, yeah, I feel like that was definitely like a both answer. What's something you've changed your mind about recently? Obviously the whole like van life stuff. What have I changed my mind about recently? I don't know, I can't think of anything. I feel like there's like certain like small things, like how... Oh, I can't even like think, I can't like... I have a thing in my brain, but it's not like wording into words. I feel like I realise like a lot of people just kind of go through the same things, but just in different ways. I feel like I always kind of thought that... I've always had this thing in my head that like, we have these destinies and then we all kind of have to like go through these like bad things to get to this good thing, but the bad things that we have to go through is like, it kind of weighs out with the good and the bad kind of like ends up evening out in the end. So then we all kind of have to go through these like different things to get there. And like everyone's like, so you know how there's like people who have like really bad situations and they keep going through bad thing, bad thing, bad thing, bad thing. I think that's like preparing them for like this good thing that's coming. But I feel like I've just like seen a lot of things where it's like I felt like that, and like, I don't know, I kind of just felt like we all kind of have these really unique individual paths, and then I keep seeing things that are like, actually, there's like so many similarities in like people's lives, and I don't know if that makes any sense. I know I've said that a million times in this video, but generally I just... I don't know. Is there a universal right and wrong, or is it all perspective? I don't know what this is referring to. Like, I don't know what this specifically is referring to. I suppose in like any situation where there's like two different sides to things, or there's like multiple different sides to things, and I feel like there's always a good thing, even if it's like a bad side. Just as an example, obviously there's like Trump supporters and there's non-Trump supporters. And to have like both of those sides I think is very important, because it keeps like the options open. I don't know, because there's like, obviously there's like bad situations and like there is like these bad things, but then I don't know, like everything... I definitely think there's a purpose for having two sides, and like, I don't think there is like a yes or a no to anything. Like, I genuinely think there is like perspectives for everything, and that's like such a cool thing about being a human, is there's so many different perspectives. Yeah. If you could relive one day of your life, what would it be and why? Oh, I don't want to be the one to say it, but the ear is tall. The ear is tall. The one in Edinburgh, like everything about it was just so incredible, and genuinely it was just amazing. Like, there's not much that I would change about it. Although I would probably just change where I was stood, to be honest, because there was some really horrible people stood behind me who were like pulling faces at me the whole time and just being really mean. So I'd probably just choose where I change where I stood. But like to experience that all again. But that's such a like cliche answer, because I could literally have picked any day from my life, and I picked like just one like small joyous moment that really doesn't do anything than bring me joy. But then also, humans, we live for joy, so it's fine. Like, yeah, what is the meaning of life? Like, just enjoy yourself. So then why would I not relive the day that brings me the most joy? 5. Fun and random challenges. Oh, what the hell is this? Okay, that's not gonna work. What about something that's less controversial and debate-ish and more wholesome? Dream big and inspiring stories. What's your biggest dream in life? Oh, this is exactly the sort of thing that I want to tell you. See, we love chat. My biggest dream in life. In fact, do you know what? I'm just going to tell you my New Year's resolutions, because I haven't even told you. I was doing a whole video on New Year's resolutions, and I said this in the last video it wasn't even the last video, the one before that, saying that I was going to post a video with like my New Year's resolutions and like goals for the year. and just kind of abandoned that video because I feel like it was not how I was envisioning it, and I just wasn't happy with it. And yeah, we're not going to post that video. So let me like chat to you about like some of my goals for this year and like the things that I want to achieve. And like, yeah, obviously the van. I really want to get a van this year. I don't know how I'm going to do it because I have no money, no income, but I want a van. So I need to figure out the income. That's a big thing as well. I really want to live in a van. I kind of want to have one by summer, which I know the deadline's getting very close. But I want to have a van. Yeah. My issue is I don't know what I would do with my car when I got a van, because obviously a van's not very eco-friendly to be like driving around all the time. I do want to try and get an electric van, but then that obviously bumps the price up significantly. But long term with like fuel and things, it probably would be cheaper. I don't know the details of it yet, but I do want a van. I also want to have my first album. I am not going to let myself not have an album by the end of this year. This is one of my ideas for a series, I'm sick of waiting around for like people to like come into my life to like help me with like the album and making music, and so I'm just gonna like start doing it on my own. Like I'm just gonna force myself to do the things that I don't want to do and like learn to produce my own music, because I have previously written, released, recorded all of the mixing and stuff for one of my neighbours just pulled it down. I'm so embarrassed that I'm talking to myself. But yeah, I'm not gonna let myself not do that. So I'm just gonna like make it happen no matter what. But yeah, so if I don't have that by the end of the year, hold me accountable, because I refuse to not let myself have an album by the end of the year. I literally just made a Pinterest board for it like 3 days ago, and I was like so excited by it. Like I was in such a like slump beforehand, and then started like making this Pinterest board, and like genuinely so excited. So yeah, please hold me accountable for my album, because I really want to have my own music. And like touring is also a massive dream. I don't know if that's going to happen this year, but touring, like I first of all want to be like a warming up act. I don't know what you call them, like a support act. But then I really want to go on my own tour eventually. Obviously it's not going to be like big arena tours, but like little tours. My issue is I am not a very people-y person, and I struggle with human connections. So like building an audience is like always hard, and that's why I'm like relying so much on YouTube, and I feel like YouTube is going to open up so many opportunities and like things for me. I don't know. So this year I decided to not do my whole goals for the year in January. So I started with, there was 3 like main projects and then like 2 little things that I wanted to do. The 2 little things was to stretch, meditate, do something like mindful or like physically like body positive every day. And then the other one was to try a new, there was 3 things. There was to try a new hobby or like event or something at least once a month. Some people just passed my car and just like laughed at me. So far there's been 2 months without, I'm gonna sneeze. That's me. So far there's been 2 months without like a new event, hobby, whatever. But I feel like I just haven't found any that make sense. Like I constantly go on like Eventbrite and I don't even know what the other websites are, like just event websites, and like scroll off Facebook and look at the upcoming things. And I just haven't found anything that's like cheap enough to attend, because obviously I have no money, so I can't just go to these like £90 for an hour experiences. So I kind of haven't gone with that one so far, but I feel like as long as I'm like seeing things and being like, oh, like I want to do that, and then just doing it rather than like just letting pressure hold me back. I do like have this thing in my head where I really want to run my own craft workshops, but I just can't. I don't know, there's something in my brain that's like, I don't know if I'm capable of doing that. Like obviously I'm capable of doing that, but then Like, I feel like I'd get there and, like, have a panic attack and be like, this is nothing like I thought it would be, and I don't know, so maybe that's, like, something for the future. As much as I'd, like, love to do it now, I don't know if I'm ready for it. And then there was also to have a no phone day at least once a week, which I haven't been doing because I've literally just been so ill, like, back to back, which is a stupid excuse because I could just, like, sit and read and something, but you know when you're just not feeling it and you just want to sit and, like, watch movies, like, that has been 90% of the time. And also I've still got this Roblox addiction where I keep playing Roblox for, like, 90% of the day. I don't know if that's ever going to go away at this point. My 3 projects were the course that I still have not finished. I was thinking, like, when I started writing my goals for the new year, January would be the perfect time to actually put it out, obviously, because it's like, it's about, like, being in your 20s and, like, trying to find your path, because I have written this course from this perspective of, I also don't know what I'm doing in life, and, like, this is how to figure it out, and it's kind of like a guide for me to follow that I also kind of just want to share with other people, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I kind of want to get that course out. I just have been pushing it back because it doesn't feel like the right time, but is it going to ever feel like the right time? I just need to do it. I've completed it, I just need to run through and, like, get the fonts right and just, like, double check everything. Yeah, just, like, procrastinating on that one. The van project, the idea for that was to sell art that's, like, pay what you can afford art. But then I also kind of just don't know what to sell for that, because then if I sell, like, art prints, then there's, like, the cost of those involved, and then I also just don't know what to do for art prints, because I'm really, like, I'm gonna have, like, an existential crisis after this. So I was gonna do, like, a sell, like, a buy what you can afford kind of thing, like, pay what you can afford. But then I just don't know what to do, because then if I do, like, items that are, like, crocheted or whatever, then it's, like, not like I can be like, pay what you can afford, because there's only going to be one of those things that takes me, like, 15 hours to make. So that's, like, a different, like, pay what you can afford category. So it has to be something like prints or something that's easy to replicate. So I don't know what to do with that. I don't really know what to do for the, like, the van fund and, like, how I'm gonna get there, which is why I had the idea of sponsorship, but then you also have to give something in return for sponsorship. So I don't know. And then the third project was the album, and I was going to do a trade up to album series. But at this point, it doesn't feel like it makes sense to do a trading series because I don't know what to trade. Like, I was going to say, the idea was to trade my art and time to, like, make music and, like, to, I don't know, like, to trade, like, me working on reception for, like, somebody recording my song. But I just, like, got stuck with this idea of I don't know what to trade. So it's like, then it's like, how do I even continue with a series when I don't know what the most important part is? Like, I don't know what to trade, so then what do I trade? Then there's no series. So I kind of just figured it's probably better to just learn to do everything myself, and, like, do everything myself, which is not ideal because I would love to have, like, a partner in making my album, so then I have this different perspective, and then there's also, like, somebody there that I can learn from. I feel like I'd learn better if I was learning from somebody that had experience rather than, like, learning from YouTube videos and, like, working it out myself, because then I'm just going to get discouraged. But, like, things just don't work out how we want them sometimes, so I am just having to do it this way. And it's better than nothing. So, yeah. So that was my goals for the first, like, 3 months of the year. I didn't specifically put dates down for them. But yeah, I didn't write my whole year of goals, because when I do write, like, these massive list of goals for the year, things end up changing, like, a month in, and, like, everything is so different than how I pictured, and my goals change, and things change in life, and, you know, there's just so many factors to it, that so much changes, So it doesn't make sense to write a whole year's list and like just review it every few months. Yeah. But so far this year, I literally don't think I've achieved anything, to be honest with you. I've just been bed rotting for 90% of the time. But it's fine, because... oh no. Because sometimes that's what you've got to do. Just got to check what's beeping, because I'm pretty sure it's my pancreas. Yeah, I've still got 10 minutes left of my sensor warm-up time. So it might keep beeping. I'm surprised it hadn't beeped before, to be honest. I thought it would beep like every 5 minutes. I feel like I'm appreciating... oh my god, I've got so much need to sneeze. I feel like I appreciate life so much more at the minute, and like... just realise that everything can just change in an instant. And like anywhere you are is kind of like a blessing, and anything you achieve is a blessing, and just life, innit? Right, what's next on the list? What's a moment in your life that made you truly happy? Oh my god, the Eras tour. Like, what do you mean? Like, that was the peak happiness. And also, when Taylor Nation put my photo on their website and also on the Instagram 100 shows thing that was on like TikTok and everything, like when I got posted on Taylor Nation's social media in that big like fan reel thing, was like I don't know, I felt so seen. Like I was like, oh whoa, like Taylor has seen me, and like I'd spent hundreds of hours of making this dress, and then it like instantly felt worth it. That's another thing, I really want to get into like sewing. And I did mention previously I would love to have like a garden art shed. But again, like an art shed is like £800 for a shed. So I can't afford £800 for a shed. But then I would love to like make custom clothes. And like make more things like my Eras tour dress. Like specific, what do you call them, like custom, not custom, like, you know, like people ask for like certain things. Because that feels like a good quest. Like it feels like a quest, and I'm so down for it. But I just don't have a shed, and you know that's just not. It's not possible right now, and I feel like it would be better off to save up for a van, so then I can like travel and adventure and live life. As much as I do want a craft shed. Who is the biggest inspiration in your life and why? Who is the biggest inspiration in my life? I want to say somebody that's like not directly like related to me in any way, but I feel like my family, like I feel like I look up to my family like all in different ways. Like my dad's very hardworking, my mum is just fucking icon. And she's literally a queen. Like my mum is literally a queen. My dad is so hardworking and freaking so cool. And then, yeah, like everyone just has these things, and I feel like everybody has this. Oh, my brother's gonna try and sneak up on me. Like I didn't fucking see him. I saw you coming. I'm trying to film a video. Callum! Where you going? Where you going? A ticket? You can get them online. Yeah. Okay. Bye, get me one. But yeah, I feel like everyone has this different inspiration in my life, and I feel like that's important to have like these different... you have like very different characters in your life. Like everyone is very different, and I feel like that is a really cool thing. To like have all these different elements of inspiration rather than just like having one that's like, whoa, this person inspires me. It's like, this person inspires me because of this, and like this person inspires me. So I don't believe in like being inspired by one person, like everyone. I feel like there's something to be inspired by everybody, which is such a cop-out answer. My iPad has now died, so we're gonna have to switch to phone. Because I also have the list on here. Where's chat? If you could do anything for a living without worrying about money, what would it be? Music. Like, hands down, or like something art related. Like I want to be singing. I also kind of just want to experience everything, but then I also kind of just want to do nothing at the same time. Like I don't know how to explain that, because it's not like I want to just be lazy and do nothing. Like I really want to have all these experiences, but then I also feel exhausted all the time. So then it's like if I put all of my energy into this one thing, then I don't have energy for anything else I want to do. Which is kind of like one of the reasons why I haven't got like a full-time job yet, is because I physically do not have the energy. Like I find it hard to just wake up every day, let alone to like have a job and then also like try and do YouTube and things. I don't know, I feel like everything is going to work out eventually, and like things are going to make sense, even if I have to like get a part-time job and things. But like right now I just don't feel like health-wise it's wise, because I have got like a lot going on. Like it's just one thing after another. Just had another diagnosis this week, which was lucky unexpected, and apparently is not even the cause of like the pain I'm having. Like it's still something else that's causing me the pain. So I've still got to have more tests, but then I've just got this extra diagnosis, which is fun. Is there anything else I need to answer before the final section? Right, I'm gonna get to section 6. Section 6, final thoughts and the wrap up. What's the thing you hope to achieve in the next year? Well, this kind of relates to what I was just saying. I don't know why I didn't read the rest of it before jumping into my goals. My album, 100%, if there's one thing that I have to choose to focus on this year, is my album. Like, I'm having the album. I'm having an album this year. Like, no matter what. No matter what, I'm getting it done. Even if I have to drag myself through physical mud to get to it, I'm getting that album. Like, I just want my own music, so then I can be like, oh yeah, I wrote this song. Like, that's so cool. Like, I just want my own music. And like, I'm so excited to show people the songs for the first time. Imagine, like, picture this, like this, it makes me so excited to just think about this, and it's such a motivation. Like, imagine I'm sat in my van right now, and like, one of my friends is sat here, or like my family member, and I'm just like, play. And then we're just listening to a song, I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, this is my new song. Like, how cool would that be? That was like literally my dream. If you had to leave this conversation with one message for the audience, what would it be? I think it's just, you've just got to deal with the shit. Like, even if you like feel shit, like I've literally had the worst period of depression for like literally like 2 weeks, I think, where I've literally not been able to get out of bed, and I just cry every time someone looks at me, and I just feel so horrifically, censor the word. That was me saying the word with censoring it at the same time. Like, I just didn't... Unalive. That's what I wanted to feel. Unalive. And I feel like you just have to go through it. Like, you just have to go through those things. And that's my message for you, is to just go through the shit and like learn things from them. I think journaling is extremely helpful to like help you process your thoughts and like look back on things and like understand why things happened. Because I do feel like everything happens for a reason. So, yeah. I know that's like a very controversial opinion, because there is like a lot of things like, why the fuck did this happen? But I feel like everything does happen for a reason. Even if it is horrific and absolutely the most painful thing in the entire world. Oh, my other neighbour's here now, and this is even more embarrassing. I think there's one more thing that I have to say. It literally just says, where can people find you if they want to stay connected? Here, what do you mean? So yeah, I kind of like had this thing last year where I was like, I want to post like different things on each social media every day, but then that was like just not at all realistic. So I now post on, I kind of just abandoned Instagram, and I kind of just post like memories and like fun things that happen, and I don't know, when I go on an adventure, like I'll take some cute pictures and that's it. But like, I'm not like making Instagram reels or anything. I don't know, I don't really care that much about Instagram. I only kind of care about like the memories and stuff, and I feel like it's very personal, like probably only for like my family and things, like family and friends. And then TikToks, I tend to post all of those on my shorts feed. And my shorts, which I kind of just film on TikTok and then post them onto shorts, to be honest. And then, I don't know, they're always kind of on both of them. There is like some extra things that get posted on YouTube and some extra things that get posted on TikTok. But that's kind of like rarer. Okay, it's not always, they're always kind of the same. What else? What other social medias is there? I don't feel like people care. Like, I feel like people get annoyed when I'm like, go follow me on this. So honestly, whatevs. If you want to go follow me, my links are always in the description. I don't think there's any new social media platforms that I want you to follow me on or anything. Like, just this is my main thing. Like, YouTube is my main one. So if you want to follow me, then YouTube is the place to follow me. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have made it like 50, however minutes, right, I think this is like 50 minutes, this video, because I had like 54 minutes on my storage and now we have 2 minutes left. So I think this video is extremely long. But if you've watched this entire video, then thank you so flipping much. And let me know in the comments your little like icebreaker thing and introduce yourself and things, and let me know if you like watching these videos, because I will do more. Probably not this long, they probably will be shorter. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in potentially the next one, and whatever I decide to post next, because I generally don't have a plan of what I'm going to post next, other than my making an album series. I'm going to try and film, like, making each song. I would love there to be like a cool documentary at the end of it. But it's me, it's not going to be like 100% the way I planned it to be, so it is what it is. Okay, bye.